City Morning Show.
Good morning, and welcome to today's edition of the Sugar City Morning Show. Buenos días a todos y bienvenidos a esta edición del Sugar City Morning Show. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Nortevisión, Canal 10, aquí en la avenida San Lorenzo. Es un gran gusto estar transmitiendo y poder llegar hasta lo más íntimo de sus hogares. Muchas gracias por la preferencia. Estamos transmitiendo en vivo desde Nortevisión Canal 10 por aire, es más, por la torre, mandando señal al norte del país de Belice. Esto es un servicio gratuito, sin cobro alguno, para la gente que opta no conectarse al cable o donde no hay cable disponible, como sea el caso. No se cobra nada, un servicio especial para la gente viviendo en el norte del país de Belice, Orange Rock, Corozal, pueblo y aldeas. También estamos en la red de cable. Es más, si estás viviendo en Orange Rock, puedes vernos en Canal 62. Y me imagino que por todo el país también en Canal 62, porque estamos unidos a la red de proveedores de señal de cable. Aquí en Orange Rock se conecta en Belmopan, en realidad, el centro, y de ahí se esparce por todo el país de Belice. Tomo tiempo aparte para enviarles saludos a toda la audiencia que nos ve, primero aquí en Orange Rock y luego Corozal, Ciudad Belice, Belmopan, San Ignacio, Santa Elena, San Ignacio, Benque Viejo, San José Socots, Dangriga y Punta Gorda y todos los puntos entre medio. Buenos días, good morning a toda tu audiencia. Y también, si es que así te gusta, si así lo optas ver, puedes verlo a través de Facebook. Pues ¿quién no está en Facebook? Aquí estamos en Facebook. Tienes que entrar a la página Sugar City Morning Show y bajarlo a tu antojo. Compañeros, muy buenos días de nuevo. Hoy es el 4 de septiembre. Quiero enviar saludos a todas las personas que están cumpliendo años. Hoy es el 4 de septiembre. Pau, mi buena amiga Pau, hoy cumple 21 años. Felicidades al primo Omar Ayuso, viviendo en los Estados Unidos. No voy a decir tu edad, pero hoy cumples años también. Varias otras personas, pero en realidad no los conozco. Jade Aileen Sarceño, Sara Sofía Fuentes de Guatemala y Shane Williams también de la ciudad de Belice. Que la pasen muy bien. Si tu nombre no está aquí en la lista y hoy cumples años, hey, te deseamos todo lo mejor. Hoy es tu día especial. Yo te envío saludos cordiales desde, también unido con todos aquí en Canal 10, te enviamos saludos cordiales por ser tu día especial. También, compañeros, vamos a empezar este programa como lo hemos hecho por los últimos casi 5 años, con una oración. A veces te voy a ser muy honesto, a veces siento una necesidad para hacer esto, más aguda que todo, más aguda al resto de los días. Hoy es uno de esos días cuando siento esa gran necesidad de contactarme con mi Creador y darle gracias y comunicarme con Él y decirle, hey, no me abandones, hoy necesito de ti. Padre, te doy las gracias por todas tus bendiciones, por la vida, la salud, por las fuerzas, por las experiencias, por tu perdón, por tu amor incondicional que tienes para nosotros. Muchas gracias, Padre. Sé que no podemos vivir para siempre Y siempre nos hacemos las mil y una preguntas, que por qué tuvo que morir, y por qué estamos aquí, y para qué venir, etcétera, etcétera. Pero Padre, te pido que confortes a las familias que recién han tenido una pérdida en su familia. Te pido que ayudes a la familia Góngora, Cucul, la muerte de la señora Martina Góngora Cucul, una persona a quien conocí y llegué a apreciar muchísimo, especialmente porque es la abuela de mi sobrina. Confórtanos, Padre, y demuéstrales que es nada más a través de la fe que uno logra, la fe de que nuestros seres queridos están en un mejor lugar contigo, que tú los has llamado y que ya no sufren, y que, pues, ¿por qué llorar si es que están mejor cuando estaban aquí? Sí, nos hace falta, sí, no las vamos a poder ver más, sí, ya no podemos darles los buenos días, sí, nos va a hacer falta, gran falta, nos hace falta. Pero Padre, permítenos entender de que ya están en un mejor lugar, y ese lugar es contigo. Padre, te pido también por los enfermos en los hospitales, en las cárceles, en las calles, en sus casas, por los viejitos, por los viejitos abandonados, por los niños desamparados, por todos nosotros también te pido que tengamos un día exitoso. Padre, te bendecimos, te adoramos y te glorificamos siempre. Amén. If you've just joined us, it is exactly 9 minutes after 7 o'clock. I beg your pardon. This is the general weather forecast for today, Wednesday, September 4th. And fair and warm weather prevails over the area. The 24-hour forecast: sunny today, partly cloudy tonight, mainly fair and warm weather will prevail, and showers or thunderstorms, if any, will be isolated today. Then a few showers or isolated thunderstorms are expected over the southern areas tonight. The winds blowing from the east-southeast 5 to 15 knots. The sea state light chop to choppy. Temperatures along the coast: 89 as a high, 83 as a low. Inland 96 as a high and 76 as a low. And in the hills 86 as a high and 70 degrees as a low. There are no advisories, no alerts, no watches. But just quickly turning to the National Hurricane Center webpage, we noticed that there are 3 named storms in the Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico, in this side of the Atlantic, that is. You have Fernand, you have Dorian, and you have Gabrielle. And Dorian has done a number to the Bahamas. It's the damage that I have seen in pictures is something beyond what I ever thought possible. And we're asking you to keep the people from the Bahamas in your prayers, and also to contribute financially. Please don't be sending them your old clothes that you don't want, because that clothes then has to be shipped all the way to Bahamas. It's easier to very simply give a couple dollars and say, tell you what, this is my contribution. That's my suggestion, mind you, my suggestion. And not give it to just anyone, and please do it along with reliable people. In other words, Belize Red Cross, they're easily the best. Red Cross is easily the best. Don't trust those fly-by-night agencies that pretend to be doing the work, and then they're not really doing the work. So if you want to contribute, if you empathize with the people from the Bahamas, and you would like to help them with their time in their time of need, please do so. please do so. But I am suggesting to you that you give them a little bit of money, $5, $10, whatever. And that is only through the Belize Red Cross Society. Wait until they come around. Please don't give them all the stuff that you don't need, because at the end of the day, remember, that has to be shipped. And in most cases, it's a waste of time. So a couple of dollars goes a long way buying water and buying clothes and whatever that they need there, rather than having to go through all the logistics of importation and etc. etc. So Dorian continues doing its thing up in that part of the world, and then you have Fernand that is just about approaching the Mexican coast of Tamaulipas, I think, and then you have Gabriele, who is coming up and is going to end up in the middle of nowhere as a post-tropical storm. But then you also have one by the Bermudas that has not been named yet. It's just a cluster of storms. And then there's another one that, I'm telling you, it's 5 of them. Another one that just came off the Cape Verde Islands, and that shows some potential, but again, it's going west-northwest. And because it's still far away, it can easily go the same direction as this one did, this last Dorian did, and aim for those areas again. Let's pray that doesn't happen. Let's pray that it goes someplace else. Let's go back to the forecast, to the general weather forecast. The outlook for tomorrow, Thursday, and Thursday night is for isolated showers or isolated thunderstorms during the day, and then a few more occurring mainly over the south during the night. A low tide occurs this morning at 8:03, a high tide at 2:04 this afternoon, a second low tide at 7:43, and the second high tide tomorrow morning at 1:53. The sun rose this morning at 5:39, 21 minutes before 6. The sun is setting this afternoon at 6:03. Watch how rapidly the sun is setting earlier. It was, I think, in June, later part of July, that it was at 6:30 and stuck for weeks at 6:31. Now it's at 6:03. And we yet have to see that 5:39 balance out with the 6:03. The moon is rising at 10:49 this morning and is setting at 10:32. Thank you, Forecast Angelia Guy, for that information. Buenos días, aquí les va el reporte del estado del tiempo para hoy, miércoles 4 de septiembre. A propósito, quiero decir algo, que el próximo martes es un día feriado, el 9 de septiembre, el 10 es por ser el día celebrando la batalla de San Jorge. El próximo martes es un día feriado. Hoy, miércoles, septiembre el 4, la situación general, condiciones calurosas continúan controlando nuestro clima aquí sobre Belice. Hoy estará soleado con parcialmente nublado por la noche. Esencialmente buen tiempo, pero caluroso, ocurriendo hoy. Chubascos o tormentas, si alguna, son completamente aisladas. Luego unos chubascos o tormentas se esperan desarrollar en el sur hoy por la noche. Los vientos del este-sudeste 5 a 15 nudos. El estado del mar ligeramente agitado. Temperaturas por la costa 89 como una máxima, 83 como una mínima. En el interior del país, 96 como una máxima y 76 como una mínima. Y por las colinas, 86 como una máxima y 70 como una mínima. Si es que 96 te suena alto, trata de ir a vivir en Texas en el mes de septiembre, y vas a darte cuenta de que el calor puede ser aún más fuerte en Texas que aquí. para el mes de septiembre. Para el mes de septiembre, yo recuerdo cuando fui a la escuela en Texas, ya tiene muchos años esto, 108, 109 es el orden del día para el mes de septiembre. Y tan de repente, pum, baja y ya, terminó. Por las colinas, 86 como una máxima y 70 como una mínima. No hay advertencias y viendo aquí la imagen del satélite en la página del National Hurricane Center, veo 5 entidades, 5 tormentas, 5. Pues estamos llegando al punto cuando el 11 de septiembre, cuando llega a su clímax los huracanes, y pues tenía que suceder. Hay 5, pero me es grato decirles de que ninguno presenta ninguna amenaza a esta parte del mundo a este momento, ninguno. Ferdinand, Dorian y Gabriel están ya desarrollados y están en su propia ruta, y el otro también yendo a ningún lado, y sí va, pero va al mar abierto. Y luego entonces el que más tenemos que darnos un poquito de no preocupación, pero de vigilancia, es al que recién salió de la costa africana, pero está puesto a subir un poquito y me parece que va a ir más al norte, y a menos de que salga uno que está yendo directamente al oeste, pues ahí es cuando tenemos que preocuparnos. Pero cuando están tan lejos y tienen un gradient de norte, pues tienden a subir sobre Puerto Rico y irse para el mar abierto y luego dar la vuelta. Así que ninguno presenta una amenaza a este momento. Repito, ninguno presenta una amenaza. No hay nada. ¿Ok? ¿Qué se espera mañana jueves y jueves por la noche? Chubascos aislados o tormentas aisladas ocurriendo durante el día. Y luego unos cuantos más ocurriendo por la noche en el sur del país. Una marea baja a las 8:03, una alta a las 2:04, otra baja a las 6:43 y otra alta a las 1:53. El sol salió hoy a las 5:39, el sol se oculta a las 6:03, la luna de igual forma sale a las 10:49 por la mañana y se oculta a las 10:32. Muchas gracias, Angelia Guy, por su información, y también muchas gracias a nuestros patrocinadores. Estamos hablando de DG, la empresa DG, Government of Belize Information Service. Muchas gracias, señor Doran Peckman. También Belize Tourist Board. También estamos hablando de German Vega Sons, Vega Imports, Vega Distributors, A&R Stores, Vaquitas House of Culture. Vamos rápidamente a una pausa. Hoy ya tenemos 2 invitados. A ver quién viene primero. Así que rápidamente una pausa a las 7:21 y estaremos de vuelta con ustedes luego de estos anuncios. No se vayan.
Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
DJ customers, imagine you and 5 of your friends partying at the highest level, platinum style, at the biggest weekend in Belize. We're talking about tickets to the Belize September Festival Weekend Street Fest featuring Nessa Preppy and Mato and Wyrus and Friends on September the 9th, featuring the long-awaited Sizzla Kalonji.
Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. There's so much going on in the world. Simplicity we used to survive.
Vanessa Bling, bring jackal. All you gotta do is text party to 3444 and win this mega package, which includes 6 platinum tickets, 1 private booth, 1 bottled drink of your choice, personal waitress, photographer with visits from the artist. Only $1 per text, so the more you text, the more chances to win this mega package. Promo ends on Wednesday, September the 4th, so remember to text party to 3444 and win.
Here all day of my life.
It's back to school time once again, and the only store to visit for all your back to school needs is A&R Store on Baker Street here in Orange Walk Town. Visit them for the absolute largest assortment of school bags in the country with brands like JanSport, Skechers, Everest, Capsule, and character bags like Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Jojo, Siwa, Unicorn, and so much more. Remember, A&R Store is your one-stop source for all your school supplies like exercise books, folders, sheets, dry eraser boards, foam boards, crayon and coloring books, plus so much more. Plus, they have a wide assortment of housewares including bed sheets, cookware, and garbage containers in all sizes and at the best prices in town. Visit A&R on Baker Street today, now with extended hours to better serve you from 8 a.m. through to 6 p.m., Monday to Saturday. A&R Stores, where prices do make all the difference.
Need an escape from your daily schedule? Why not become a tourist in your own country? Discover Western Belize. Transport back in time and be awed by the reminiscences of the Mayan civilization. Be adventurous or spend a day with family and friends enjoying the serenity of the Macau River. Sample a kaya staple or pick up some fresh produce to make your own delicacy. Come visit us in Western Belize. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multi-purpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
On Wednesday, May 8th, Belizeans soundly decided to take the unfounded Guatemalan claim to the International Court of Justice, the ICJ. According to the special agreement, this is what happens next. 1. By June 8, 2019, the government of Belize will submit the 2008 special agreement to the ICJ. Guatemala has already done so since their referendum was held in 2018. This will give the ICJ official authority to hear the dispute and to deliver a final binding result. The ICJ will then prepare a notice of when the trial will commence. 2. Next, Guatemala will have up to 1 year, that's 12 months, to submit their case to the ICJ. 3. Belize will then have up to 1 year, that's 12 months, to respond to Guatemala's submission. 4. From there, Guatemala will be given up to 6 months to reply to our arguments, and 5. Belize will then have up to 6 months thereafter to reply to Guatemala's response. 6. After the period of written arguments ends, the ICJ may allow additional pleadings, including oral arguments, and would set deadlines for those. 7. Once the timeline for arguments has ended, the ICJ will deliberate and make a ruling in accordance with the instructions and authorities granted to them by Belize and Guatemala, as per the 2008 special agreement. 8. After the ICJ's ruling is delivered, Belize and Guatemala will have 3 months to establish a joint commission to physically demarcate the boundaries between the two countries in accordance with the ICJ's ruling. The entire process will take no less than 4 years and can be as many as 6 years. This ICJ process will bring a final end to this long-standing Belize-Guatemala dispute. Belize and Guatemala will be able to put old divisions and antagonisms behind us and ensure that peace, development, and cooperation prevail.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta al Sugar City Morning Show. Perdón, tengo todavía. Pero lo prometido es deuda, siempre. Hoy es un privilegio poder cumplir con la promesa y decir, tal como lo habíamos dicho, lo tenemos. Es un gran gusto de presentarles y únanse conmigo a dar la bienvenida al ministro Elodio Aragon. Good morning, Minister, and welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good, Emmanuel. I'm doing very, very good. I don't feel 100% in terms of my sore throat.
Welcome to the club.
So I don't know if I get cold or what, but you know, that can't stop, like they said, I can't stop the work and getting up in the morning. But, you know, I just want to say good morning to all radio listeners and, of course, to all those who are tuning in here at Channel 10 and, of course, East Radio, where we are transmitting this live likewise. And I just want to say a pleasant good morning to everybody here in Orange Walk Town, and especially the people in the Orange Walk East constituency. And, of course, all those in Belize who are tuning in. You know, it's always a pleasure for me to be here at Channel 10 at the studios.
Well, you know, we have
to discuss the things
we
that
have
we are doing.
A formidable following in the Cayo district, you know.
Yes.
It's a formidable following. I'd like quiero a este punto enviarles saludos a toda nuestra gente en San Ignacio, Santa Elena, Benque y San José Sococh. Muy buenos días. ¿Cómo se encuentran? Ojalá y podamos contar con su participación hoy durante el show de una forma u otra. Minister, over the weekend, there was a big thing. There was a launch. Well, it was.
Well, Emmanuel, before we get in, I would just want to just say
Sure.
one or two things before we forget, you know.
Ándale.
First, of course, I want to say condolences to Miss Martina Gongora, who passed away. I think she lived on Blue Creek Street in the east. And I just want to say condolences to the family. You know, it's always tough at these times. And likewise, you know, I think the hurricane devastation in Bahamas is tremendous. I know in Cabinet yesterday we discussed the issue, and I think the government sent out some support of $100,000 at the first instance, you know, because I'll tell you, you know, I think that is regarded as one of the worst hurricanes ever to have hit the Bahamas like that.
Hit the Bahamas, hit anywhere.
That's right.
Because can you imagine what we have seen? It hit the Bahamas with winds of up to 185 miles per hour. When the National Hurricane Center sends out a notice saying with sustained winds of 185, that means that breeze is blowing at 185 constantly.
Yeah.
For more than, there's a criteria, but in this case it's for more than 60 seconds. So it has to be blowing 185. Then you have the gusts that are blowing up to 220 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And those are erratic gusts that can last up to maybe 15, 20 seconds. But can you imagine?
And it sat out there for a couple hours, you know, so
And
really...
gone over 8 miles and 5 miles per hour. I mean, can you imagine the devastation?
So many people take lick, you know.
They take more than lick.
Yeah, so, you know,
And
we're hoping the best for them.
Because some of the areas are completely underwater, so...
Right.
We're asking the public as well to contribute. I think that the Belize Red Cross would be the more reliable one in this case. And please don't support those fly-by-night individuals who come up and say, me estoy buscando ayuda para Bahamas y resulta that there's somebody else, there's something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so be very careful with those.
Right.
You want to contribute wisely. Okay. But yes, Minister, we had over the weekend the launching of Minister Patrick Faber's, well, first of all, it was his convention. In other words, it was contested, so it was by proclamation. So he is the standard bearer for the colored division.
That's right.
But it also took opportunity to launch his campaign for the leadership of the United Democratic Party.
And also his delegates, his appointment of his delegates.
And also his delegates.
Yeah.
You were there front seat along with the people from Orange Walk. Tell us more about it.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of conventions and going to that convention in terms of the launching of his campaign, the Path to the Future 2020, I will tell you that I haven't seen a convention like that in Belize. I've seen it on the television in terms of when you look at the United States, with all the fanfare and I think he had fireworks at a spell, a small, and the dropping of balloons and all of that stuff. And it was nice to know that, here in Belize we can do these things too. And I do feel that having been out there, having seen the crowd, because it was a tremendous crowd. I did a rough estimate while I was there. And just in the bleachers and at the center, I think alone there was nothing less than 2,500 odd people, maybe more. And outside, of course, there was another great amount of people out there. So he had a very, very good crowd out there. And, I think he got a lot of support in terms of people coming from all over the country in support of Patrick Faber. And I think that speaks well of him, well of his candidacy. And, we all know right now in terms of the National Party Council, for the UDP has set the dates in terms of, I think, the deadline for people to submit names who are interested in running for the various offices that will be up for grabs on February the 9th.
I think the deadline is October
the 29th, I think, or 25th.
Or something like that.
Something there.
But then the elections are going to be held on
February 9th.
February 9th of
Right.
February.
Yeah, and I think that will be held in Belize City, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And so, so that is where it is right now. But I just want to congratulate the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Patrick Faber, for having been able to organize a massive event like that. And I think it went well. I think, people really enjoyed it. Everybody who went out, they really enjoyed that endorsement. And, like I said, the naming of his delegates and his official launch for the party leadership's candidacy,
Events like those are generally a manifestation of your popularity and also the amount of support that you get from the people. Now, I imagine that he has a lot of support and a lot of people who spend time actually arranging and doing all the detailed preparation for these things, because Mr. Faber himself can do this.
But I think he has a good team, He has a good team
point.
that has been able to organize these events, and it was spectacular. I will tell you that. It was spectacular. I think everybody that went out there could attest for that in terms of the organization, the feeding. To feed all that amount of people is no joke. And to
There
look
was
at
food for
food
everybody.
was there, everything was there, and it was. And I think when I look at it, I think we need more of these events where we bring our party supporters together. For an interaction, for to be able to meet with the representatives in terms of that party spirit, Mm-hmm. And I think more of these things are needed, and I felt very good to be a part of that. Emmanuel, everybody, it's no secret that where I stand in terms of this leadership race, in terms of who I support, because up to now, I think there's only two candidates who have basically said
And you
they are
have made
running,
your choice.
which is
You have made the
Patrick
decision.
Faber and Honorable Jan Saldiva. I've never kept it a secret, because I am somebody who shoots straight, and when I mean shoot straight, I don't mince words in terms of telling somebody, yes, I'm with you, and then I am with you too. I have thought about this thing for a very, very long time, from when Patrick Faber ran for the deputy party leader, right? That was about, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So since then, I've supported Patrick Farber, and I continue to do so because I truly believe that he is the candidacy that can best move the United Democratic Party, on the national level, and of course as a candidate, as the party leader for the.
So, was there anything in particular during that convention that made you feel particularly proud of him and said, "That's the man I want as a leader for that"?
Yes, definitely. If you were out there, you would have heard what he had mentioned, his entire speech that he has mentioned, and he's talking about, listen, we have to look at how we move the United Democratic Party towards greater things. And I think those are words that, you listen to them and this is exactly the kind of leadership we will need in the future. Our Prime Minister has done and continues to do an exemplary work, and I think there's nobody that could fill his seat just like that. But nevertheless, I do believe that this is something that is coming about. There's a leadership race right now, and people across this country, especially the delegates who will be bestowed with the voting power in terms to decide who will be the next party leader of the United Democratic Party, has a great and tremendous responsibility to the wider United Democratic Party supporters across this country. And, I've always said, at the end of the day, these delegates, these strong UDP supporters know what is at stake in terms of this election, in terms of trying to see who will be the next party leader. And I do think that understanding that situation, they are best able to make the right decision, because this is very important for the party.
Another question. We do know that you were there. We saw pictures of it. We also do know that some of the other standard bearers in the Orange Walk divisions were there as well.
Right.
But in terms of representation from other parts of the country, was there representation from around the country?
From around the country, people were out there. Whether they were delegates or standard bearers or they were there. They were out there. And I felt extremely proud in terms of having met a lot of those standard bearers that are out there who basically represent the party across this country. And it was, like I said, it was tremendous, to have this meet. And I think this is what the party needs to do every now and then, to bring about the mass of the party supporters, the strong UDP supporters, to come together so we could mingle, we could have a chit-chat in terms of what is happening.
As a family.
Exactly. And this was a tremendous event in that of itself, but greater the launching of the Deputy Prime Minister's Patrick Farber's Path to the Future, in terms of of his launching of his campaign. So all of this went very well, and I feel good. And like I said, like I've always told people, I stand where I believe we, in terms of having the best candidate for this country. I mean, I think there are two spectacular candidates who's thus far has basically said they are running for this party leadership convention. They are and both of them are my friends, personal friends. I know them. I have nothing negative to say about any one of them. But I do think at the end of the day, I've stood with Patrick Farber. I believe that this will bring about a new generation in terms of leadership for the party. And, those are my beliefs, and I stand by them. And, but only time will tell, because remember, this is a convention, and I make, how would I say, people know exactly where I stand, and I continue to stand behind Patrick Farber. And I do think that at the end of the day, everybody will have to eventually show who they support, because it's only a matter of time.
You have to. There comes a time when nothing how you hide it right now, but there'll be a time when you have to show it.
Yeah, and I've always believed that we must be able, as leaders within our communities, as representatives in our constituencies, it is our responsibility to be able to do what is right, to do what is best for the party and for this country. And I think that one of the most important decisions is making that decision on who you support. That is tremendously important.
No, we do know, I'm sorry to bring it, we do know that the Prime Minister has not openly declared his approval for any one of them yet, because he's just keeping himself distanced. Was he there?
No, he wasn't. I did not see him there.
Did not see him there.
Yeah, but I've always believed. Getting back to what I was saying, Emmanuel, I do believe that as leaders, we represent the people who have put us there. We represent the United Democratic Party, whether not only in our constituents but also across this country. And I do believe that we have a tremendous responsibility for the party and for this country, and we must be able to look at who will do better for the party and for this country. And I do think that those are some of the reasons I have supported Patrick Faber and will continue to do so. And I am open about it because I don't believe that I should be playing games with anybody, Thus far, it's only those two candidates, So at the end of the day, a decision will have to be made, and I believe that it must be given tremendous thought process, and we have to look at everything. And I think I have done that since if you remember well, Patrick Faber ran for the Deputy Prime Minister post, remember? At that time, it's only a very small amount of us in cabinet who supported him. And we were able to, at the end of the day, still win majority of the delegates. And he was basically elected to become the Deputy Prime Minister. There's no difference in terms of the process. The process is there. The delegates will be making that decision along with others in the party. But at the end of the day, I do believe that I've made the right decision then, and it was confirmed by the delegates of our UDPs across this country. And now we have another election coming up, and I continue to stand by him. And I do feel that he is the person that could bring about a new kind of leadership, a new generation of political thinking, etc. for this country.
Let's take a break. But it's exactly 44 minutes after 7 or 16 minutes before 8 o'clock. When we come back, we're going to be talking about your views on the deputy party leader, because that's an important role.
Of course.
Let's take that break and we'll be right back with you. Vamos a esta pausa.
Take a journey with us to endless possibilities. Our future as a country is now. DigiNet Boost is countrywide. Taking Belize into the future. A nationwide technological evolution. As the most advanced fiber connection, DigiNet Boost is a step forward into a modern world. Belize is powered by DigiNet. DigiNet Boost, now available countrywide.
Six cylinders to pure potential and better performance.
It looks like it vibrates. You think it could be the horsepower?
With a quart of oil and the calibration of the injectors, it will start to get the watchers again on the street.
We take a motor to its optimal level. We speak machine, Rush Franz, making the world function. Authorized agent, German Vega & Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Someone come, yes, someone coming, let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day, why you the letter?
Who sent me the letter?
That sign right there, you can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you do it too?
No, man, no.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment.
So all of that? Well, now that you put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Everybody wants a clean and healthy family. That's why they purchase the best food products and the cleansing materials. This time, we give you a bigger size of La Costeña products like the mouth-watering fried beans and the pasta sauce. And surely for your clean laundry, we have the breathtaking aroma of Ensueño Max Suavitel. Even your visitors will ask what you clean your floors and restrooms with. And you can boast it is the variety of Pinol products and Sultan muriatic acid now in 900 milliliters. And much more for the best prices only at German Vega and Sons Imports. We serve you at number 5 San Antonio Road, Orange Walk Town. You can even call us at 322-3625 or 322-2672. Or you can even send us a fax at 322-2571 or email us at germanvega@btl.net. German Vega and Sons Limited, because we care for you.
Motor 5.0, 4 válvulas por cilindro. Todos quisiéramos una. Como que no agarra, ¿no? Siento como que se le pega el... ¿Balancín? Vamos a darte el aceite que te mereces. Vas a correr como rayo, preciosa.
Los que oímos más allá de las revoluciones, hablamos máquina. Roche-France, poniendo el mundo a funcionar.
Agente autorizado German Vega y Sons. Teléfono 322-3625. Roche-France.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's exactly 9 minutes before 8 o'clock. Compañeros, compañeras, bienvenidos al Sugar City Morning Show. Hoy, miércoles 4 de septiembre. Si estás cumpliendo años, que la pases muy bien. Muchas felicidades. De nuevo, presentándoles al señor ministro Elodio Ragón, que está con nosotros. Y estamos recapitulando lo que sucedió este fin de semana, hablando acerca de la convención que sucedió, un magno evento y fue esencialmente para subir la moral y para también lanzar al señor Patrick Farber, su campaña del señor Patrick Farber para el liderazgo la posición de liderazgo para el Partido Unido Democrático. Sabemos de que entre muy poco el señor primer ministro, como líder del partido, lo repito, va a tener que bajar, porque él es mismo el que puso la condición que son 3 años y ya máximo. Pero el líder del partido va a haber elecciones y ya él no va a poder correr de nuevo. Así que se tiene que buscar un líder nuevo. Ahora, también aparte del líder, apart from the leadership, there's going to be elections for the deputy party leader. There's going to be elections for the party chairman, el presidente del partido, y también, si no me equivoco, deputy party leader, the deputy second party leader, and also deputy chairman of the party. Son 5 posiciones, de lo que recuerdo bien. Así que ya sabemos de que we already know that Honorable Patrick Faber has launched his campaign towards the party leadership. I don't know if the other person has launched his candidacy. I don't know. He has publicly said that he is interested, but I don't think that he has launched it as Mr. Patrick Faber did. But just before we went to the break, Minister, we were talking about the deputy party leadership. Now, let's just have one thing very clear to the public. You run for the position that you want.
Right.
If you want to run for party leader, you run for party leader. But that doesn't mean that if you come in second, that you're going to be deputy party leader. Right.
Yeah, I think you have to put your name.
You have to put your name again for that position, and go to elections on that. So, any thoughts on that, sir?
No, well, I guess, there's a process for these things, and that is why there's a National Party Council that will have, on February the 9th, we'll have the gathering there, and people will up to now, up to October, the ending of October.
My point is, have there been any moves afoot by any one individual who has perhaps, maybe you've got the clue of it, who has perhaps said, tell you what, I got the eye for the deputy party leadership because I want to, in 8 years or 10 years time, even be the
yeah, well, at this point in time, I haven't heard anybody as
it's
yet.
Premature.
Yeah, it's premature, and I do think that by the deadline of the last week in October, we will know for sure who's interested.
That's
for
not
those
too far away,
positions. No, not too far away. It's right after September here, but that is the deadline, and people know the procedure in terms of submitting names, etc. So it's and you might think we have a long time to that. It's not a long time. We're already in September. It's about 5 months away to that convention. So I guess only time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
So
why I mentioned that is, and I just don't want to seem to be belaboring the point. It's just that over the years, and speaking, honestly and sincerely, that over the years we have seen some sort of move towards having representation from 2 of the large ethnic groups and in the leadership of the party. And that we have seen in both parties, in both the UDP and the PUP. We've had George Price and Carl Thompson, CLB Rogers, and we had Manuel Esquivel and Dean Barrow, one mestizo, one colored Creole. Okay, any sort of idea as to how you would like it for it to be?
Well, I think at the end of the day, the people, our UDP supporters across this country, especially those who have been entrusted with the voting power, will make that decision. I do think it is always important for it to be, how would I say, for us to have a balanced representation. It is always good, I think, for the party.
It's good to hear that.
And I do think those are things that I do believe people also consider. So there's a lot when it comes to making that decision. And I do think at the end of the day, I think that the UDP who are entrusted with that responsibility will be making the right decision. So, because at the end of the day, it is the people who truly love this party. It is the people who truly stand for this party and fight for this party that will be making these decisions. And I do believe that at the end of the day, they will do what is right for this party and this country.
Why another pertinent question would be, not another, but the same question, but just trying to bring it into, looking at it from a different way. A lot of people are saying, PUP going to win the next elections. Well, tell you what, that has not been written in disguise. As a matter of fact, political pundits are saying the UDP can easily win this upcoming election next year by doing such and such and such and such a thing. And so we were talking about the party leader and the deputy party leader even becoming prime minister and deputy prime minister.
Right. Well, Emmanuel, I've always told people, and I will say it again here, the PUP has nothing over the UDP. Make no ghost fool you. Right? The United Democratic Party, when you look at all that it has done during its time in office, tremendous work. Has been there for its people. I know there are not areas that we can improve upon. Of course, there's always areas that we can improve on. But the party has stood by the people and by the country. And when you look at the PUP, I've always said it, this is another one new PUP party running. This is the same bunch of people who brought this country to its knees. How will you go back and in our right mind go back and put these people back in office? Something will be terribly wrong with us. There's no other worse corrupt party in this country than the PUP. We all know that it is proven records. The records are there for all to be seen, And I do believe that at the end of the day, they have nothing over the UDP. But I know that the UDP, this next election, the UDP has to show that, listen, must show the people, I think, and bring back that confidence to the people. And I do feel that the United Democratic Party stands tremendous chance of being re-elected. And I truly feel we will be re-elected. But there's a lot of work to be done. And I know I said that there's not things to be done. There's a lot to be done. But definitely, at the end of the day, it is the Belizean people who will make that decision. It is the voters who will decide on election day who they want to govern for the next 5 years. And when we look at it, the PUP has always been deceitful in terms of trying to bring about and cast what I would say mistruths in terms of their representation of the people. Because we have to be real. They talk about the rebirth of the PUP, trying to show that, this is a new set of PUP leaders, etc. That's a lie. That's deceitful. It is the same crowd, Musa, Briseño, Marines, you name the crowd, they're the same crowd running. People must understand this. And a lot of times we tend, as Belizeans, to forget what has transpired. You can't put the UDP in the same ring as the PUP. The difference is like night to day. And I'll be the first to tell you that the UDP not perfect. I've always told that to people, And I don't know one political party in the world that could say that they're perfect. There's none. But we must look at the difference, and the difference is clear. How you want to put people who literally were the architects of corruption, people who stole thousands of acres of land, people who had white elephant projects, people who squandered millions of dollars and nothing to show. These are the same people vying for office in the PUP right now. The UDP has been there, and everybody could say the works and how the monies have been spent in terms of the infrastructure that has been
done. A little while ago, I told you that a lot of people can be unforgiving. And I also would like to add on and say that people can be forgetful. I'll just quickly tell you a little incident that happened sometime within, I think, the last week or so. I was approached by an individual who passed by every day without having to mention names. He says, "Onda Manuel, ¿qué ondas? ¿Cómo es que tu partido está perdonando $40,000 a un individuo por bla, 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 bla?" Y yo le dije, a este le tengo que caerle la boca inmediatamente. This is what came to my mind. Y le dije, ¿no fue tu partido que le regaló o que le entregó $30 millones a los novelos hace unos cuantos años? ¿Cómo puedes olvidarte tú de eso y tratar de comparar, olvidarte de que no fueron $40,000, pero $30 millones de nuestros dólares y que jamás nunca recibimos un pago acerca de esto. Y yo no te quiero decir que estoy justificando ese cancelación de deuda de $40,000. Eso es otro tema para otra discusión. Pero, ¿cómo tú te atreves a tratar de hacerme sentir culpable? Y luego, al final del día, tu cola está mucho más larga que el mío. Your tail is much longer than my one. So, the person immediately retracted and said, well, I'm not telling you that's a good thing either, pero simplemente, like you said, Minister, it's the same people.
The same bunch of people, and I've always said, they come and try to be deceitful.
Only that this time they're dressed in white.
Yeah, I always call them the wolves in sheep clothing, because that is the true image of who they are. And I think the Belizean people at this point in time are demanding better leadership, are demanding leaders that are more responsible, leaders that care for the people, leaders that really want to make a difference. And I truly believe that is, the people have the power at the end of the day to make these decisions, because at the end of the day, the leaders we choose as a community is the leaders we have to live with. That is at the bottom line. If we pick and put bad leaders there, then we'll live with that. If you put good leaders, then you will live with the good things that person does. And I do think that this next election in 2020, I think it will be a very important time for the UDP. It will be a very important time for the people of this country to make the right decision. I think nobody can say that the UDP hasn't been moving this country steadily forward. And I say, of course, there are areas that we need to improve on. Maybe there's need for us to refocus on certain areas to give that support and things like that. And I do envision that these things will happen, right? But definitely at the end of the day, our Belizean people, our voters out there will have to make these decisions. And I've always said this next election, if there was ever an election that needs to be won by the UDP, is this election. And the PUP will end up on a last straw, because after this election, once they lose, I will tell you, that will be good riddance for all those people like Musa, Briseño, and then who will retire. Because I don't see them running another term, both for their age and etc. And that will be the only time the PUP, you might say, will have an opportunity to bring about new blood. But for right now, it is the same old blood. What you expect to get if you re-elect or put into office the same people? Tell me where you expect to go. Where do we expect to go as a nation if you put these same people? These people have proven to us, not on one or two or three occasions, but on numerous occasions, how they have mismanaged, how they have basically deprived the Belizean people of the kind of revenues that could have been put into infrastructure, etc. I mean, it is there. It is all there to show you the corruption, the level of corruption that they did while in office is unforgivable. That is the bottom line. It is unforgivable. But they are there pressing to be given an opportunity to go back in office. I don't see how the Belizean people will do that. Least we play forget. Least we, as Belizeans, as voters, say, well, we forget, we forgive. But I think in this manner, there is no room for forgiveness. There is no room for forgetting. Because this is about our beloved Belize. And we, as voters, as citizens of this country, have a great responsibility, and we must do what is right for this country. And I do think that the United Democratic Party continues to have that confidence. I know that it is there where it was once, but they're not like we have gone astray neither. You understand me? And we, as a party, must always continue to put people at the forefront. And I do think, to a large extent, we are there. Like I said, there are things that we must improve upon. There's room for change. There's room for us to adapt, to overcome in certain areas. And I do think those are at the end of the day, that is, the UDP is there for its people. Bottom line.
Do you have works in the East, works for the East on the agenda?
Yes, and I think we could get to that right after, because we have a number of things.
Let's take a break.
We get tied up in the politics of things.
I know. Let's take a break. It's exactly 7 minutes after 8 o'clock. We'll be right back with you after these messages. Don't go away.
You have an 8-cylinder powerful engine disguised as an aluminum alloy that spins at 8,000 revolutions per minute.
Goes like this. You think it's a turbo?
No, with a cleaning of injectors and a change of oil, you will run more efficient, my friend.
For those who understand the engine like it talks to you, we speak machine. Rush France, making the world function. Authorized agent German Vega and Sons. Telephone number 322-3625. Email germanvega@btl.net.
Notice the residents of rural communities in Orange Walk and Corozal districts. If you value your health and your children's health, you will dispose of your garbage only at approved sites. The disposal of garbage at any other location is illegal, and if caught, you can be fined up to $5,000. If you don't get caught, you can still suffer health impacts caused by these illegal sites, because illegal dump sites harbor pests such as rodents, possums, and mosquitoes that carry diseases. These can transmit those diseases to you and your children. In addition, the garbage you throw away illegally can contaminate water bodies near your community, the same water bodies you might use for recreation or other purposes. Only with your help can the Department of Environment ensure that Belize's development is safe for present and future generations. You can also contact your local village councils or Belize Solid Waste Management Authority for more information. The Department of Environment thanks you for your help.
There's no need to go across the border to enjoy sun, sand, and crystal blue waters. Belize's northern islands and reef are just a boat ride away. Go slow and immerse yourself into the Caribbean Sea or enjoy some fresh coconut water. Or pick up the pace on an island where locals can enjoy sandy beaches by day and feast on your fresh catch by night. Discover the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef and submerge yourself into another world where you can experience a traffic jam you will want to return. You can also make new friends along the way. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
The ongoing technological evolution constantly transforms the way we live our lives. The introduction of our national fiber network creates the opportunity for Belizeans to live the digital lifestyle. Today, Digi is proud to introduce Dana, Belize's first artificially intelligent automated assistant. Dana is the modern customer service experience. Available 24/7, Dana can provide Digi prepaid and postpaid customers with directory information, credit and plan balances, product and promo information, and more. Just talk to Dana. Want to check your credit balance? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, what's my credit balance?
New Digi promotions? Ask Dana.
Hey Dana, any new Digi promotions?
Dial 113 for directory assistance and dial 119 to talk to Dana. Digi remains committed to introducing the latest in cutting-edge technologies, transforming Belize one technology at a time. Try Dana today.
Thank you for calling Digi Customer Service.
Digi prepaid and postpaid customers, here are 2 easy ways to win tickets to September 20th Soca Fest concert or a special edition cultural bangles from Medina's House of Jewelry. Prepaid customers, just purchase a Soca Fest data plan and you get 800 megabytes of data for only $5. Just text Soca to 700 to purchase and you can be the lucky winner of this cultural bangles on September 20th. And 3 lucky prepaid or postpaid customers can win a platinum package each. That's 1 platinum ticket, 1 Soca and Culture Fest Yeti cup, a top shelf bottle of your choice, free parking, 1 Soca and Culture Fest t-shirt, and an inflatable stick. Just text KES to Soca. That's 537 to 7622. The more you text, the more chances you have to win this platinum experience. Promotion ends Tuesday, September 17th. It's the biggest concert of the year. Friday, September 20th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex featuring Kes the Band, Conscience, Skinny Fabulous, King Bubba, and Kevin Little.
The Philip Goldson Highway between Belize City and the Philip Goldson International Airport is getting a major facelift to the tune of $31.5 million. Section B of the highway upgrading project between Haulover Bridge and the Buttonwood Bay Boulevard roundabout is underway at an investment of $21 million. Works consist of the full rehabilitation of the road to paved standard, which includes the widening of the road to 4 lanes, lined sidewalks and drains, wide shoulders, median, and parking, plus a bus lane at designated sections of the road. LED road lighting will be installed along with road safety features such as signs, reflectors, and road markings. The project will also facilitate in the improvement of underground infrastructure for the public utility companies. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos de vuelta al Sugar City Morning Show. De nuevo, son exactamente las 8:13. It's 13 minutes after 8 o'clock. Reintroducing Minister Elod Aragon, who is here with us this morning. And during the past 2 segments, we have spoken pretty much openly about the chairmanship of the party and what one person has done to try to secure that position, not the chairmanship, I'm sorry, the leadership of the party. Obviously, the chairmanship is up for grabs as well.
Yeah.
And but in this other segment, I'd like Minister Aragon to share with us some of the works that he has programmed for the East Division.
Yeah, sure, man, sure. And I think we have one lot there, Emmanuel, and I'd like to get some of these done because these are some of the projects that and some of the things we have been engaged in the East for this last month of August. No, and I just like to highlight some of these things. Well, we all know the issue we had with the river. And I must say that I passed over the toll bridge and I saw the water clearing up. So that is good signs that the river is being flushed out with the rains that we've had. And I know I was in Tower Hill during this period of where the river was, I think, at its worst and where we had the fish kill, etc. I was out there with the chairman, Mr. Roque Quijano, and we went out there to look at it. And I could say that right now, those are some of the pictures that we saw out there. But right now, we have the Department of Environment who will be assisting with a cleanup campaign, and I think they are in contact with the chairman to get that done.
Cleanup campaign?
In Tower Hill to remove all the dead fish, etc. To try to deal with the stench that was out there. So those things are already being worked on, and like I said, it's sad to have seen the situation with the river, but it looks like with the rains, it's
so
coming
about. I know
about.
you can't talk on behalf of the Department of Environment. That's
No, I
a completely
can't.
different entity.
But
have they been forthcoming at least with you?
Well, I know they came out there, and as a matter of fact, on East Radio at 9 o'clock this morning, we have members of the Department of the Environment who will be having a period to discuss some of the issues in terms of this and where they are and things like that. They'll be on East Radio this morning
because they made certain promises at the meeting which they had
right.
at the Gala Lounge. And we still yet have to come. They still yet have to come straight up to us and said this and this is what happened.
Well, definitely, I think with the rains, you could see the current moving now. Now the river is kind of moving, and I think it's flushing out all of the situation that has caused the river to be what it was a couple of weeks ago. I think it still needs some more rain, etc. But with time, I do envision that river will come back to its glory. But definitely, I always believe that prevention is the best cure, and we must do everything. And the Department of Environment, the companies that are out there must do their part to ensure that this does not repeat, But, like I said, I invite everybody to be on East Radio, to tune into East Radio 104.9 this morning at 9 o'clock. We have Department of Environment personnel that will be on the talk show there, no? So we invite everybody to be a part of that.
Can you call in?
Yes, I do believe you can. Yeah. Likewise, I just want to highlight the great work also that we are doing in Carmelita. In the month of August, we were able to put, I would want to tell you, at least over 100 lamp posts within that village.
What?
Yep, and we put close
Over
to
100?
Over 100, and I'd say we put at least maybe 80 lights were up, about 80 lights
Good
went
thing they
up.
happened then.
Of course.
No. Are we seeing that
yes,
on the
yes,
screen?
those are in Tower Hill. No, in Tower Hill, sorry, in Carmelita. We put up over 10 transformers, likewise, to ensure that the current could handle whatever when people connect to the grid. But tremendous work out there. I tell you, I was out there visiting a weekend, and we went to look at all the expansion of that area of Carmelita. Carmelita is growing so fast. We opened new roads already. We have given people access to land, to new land, and the roads that we have opened, etc. We have now been putting the light and posts. And I tell you, we did not only look at putting light on the new expansion, but we also put light in needed areas in the village. Have
you met with the chairman from the Carmelita?
No, I haven't met with the new chairman there. I haven't met with him yet. But the work continues, Emmanuel, because this is the commitment I have. And I'll tell you, anybody who could visit that village, anybody who lives in that village will tell you the tremendous work we have done there. And the work doesn't end. We have a lot of things happening. Before the end of this year, we'll have our new police station built, because we are hoping to get that done. And I was hoping this month, I'm hoping that we could at least get a start on it by the end of this month or early next month. We have the September celebrations and all that comes into play. We had trouble identifying new land, because the old land that we had identified, we find out that it belongs to the Kadem, So, that threw a wrench in it, But such is life, I guess. And these are clear examples of what we have discussed earlier in terms of how will you put people back into office that do these kinds of things. But anyway, at the end of the day, I am proud to say we have this massive expansion in Carmelita. At this point in time, we are looking to work on Palmar now. We are waiting for the people who have been contracted to put lights on for us, and BL equipment to come and put in some posts for us in Palmar. I'm hoping that will happen late this week or early next week. From what I have gotten to understand, these people are in San Esteban right now doing some work. So as soon as they are finished with that, they will come into Palmar and get that work done for us. And that will go a long way to assisting in terms of bringing light to the village, to lightening up the village, because certain areas is pretty dark, especially that stretch from ANR down into the village, the main road, and from when you look at ANR right down on the highway to come and go. And of course, we have certain areas in the village that we identified with expansion of light.
That's part of Palmar.
And electricity, yes, of course. So these things will come about, and I feel very good about it, because, at the end of the day, this is important to people out there, and if it is important to them, then it's important to me. So these are some of the things we are doing, and we'll get out there definitely. We've already had, before we had expansion and light in terms of electricity posts and that in Palmar, and we will continue.
I'd like to interject and ask you a question. When obviously you just don't send, you are there as well.
Yes, sir. As long as I can be out there, I'll be on the ground.
What kind of comments do you get from
No, very good, man. People
Talk to me.
People have been waiting for these things for a very, very long time. And I will be frank. For instance, when you look at expansion of light and water, light, especially light, water is in Palmar, for instance, has been a very good thing. And I know that the chairman for the water board has always been doing a tremendous job in Palmar. But the expansion of light, for instance, in any of the villages that we have done, they haven't seen these kinds of expansion for, I'd say, the last 20 years, for a long, long time. And we are getting a lot of these things done, not only for one village, but we have done it in Santa Marta, in both light and water. We have done it in Carmelita. Right now, we have to work on a water expansion program for that village. In Palmar, we are working on the lights, and right now, there's tremendous work being done, because we know that it is important. And, for instance, right now, apart from the lights that we are waiting to come on, to be put on, if not this week, next week, we also have I've taken the public works equipment in there to do some opening on new roads, to assist some people that I had met there who had asked for these roads to be open and to be dumped. So we are working on those things right now. We have the equipment out there. And we will continue to do as much work as possible in that village because it is important to fix the areas that need to be fixed, to open new roads and stuff. So those things are happening. I don't know if you looked at Facebook. We had a little situation there, which it's not major for me, but it is something that I had to bring about in terms of mentioning it. Because you have the PUP chairman came out there on Monday. I was on the ground with the equipment beginning the work, and basically he came out there and he asked that I need to tell him whenever I go to the village and these things, to do work. I said, well, I'm not gonna have a problem in terms of that. If that is what he wants, that nothing for me. But at the end of the day, I asked him, you listen, I'm here to get the work done for the village. Once I get down on the ground, I want to see work. I demand from Public Works to do their best. And I asked if he could assist us with the White Mall, because they are the new village council. The reality is, he said he, as the chairman, has no authority over the White Mall. He needs to basically contact some people, and then he'll get back to me. And he brought up the Lads Committee. I told him, as far as I know, the Lads Committee is not duly elected as yet. He said, anyway, I said, listen, if you want to help, if you give us the access to the White Mall, it will help us tremendously because we only have one truck. And that truck has to go way to Champion Ridge and come back. For one trip, to every one trip we take out at Champion Ridge, we could take out maybe 3 or 5 trips right there in Palmar. And that will help us to get the work done quicker and improve because they have good White Mall there. So he said he'll call me back. So I gave him my number and he did call me back. But he said that they did not authorize for us to use the White Mall from Palmar to fix their roads in Palmar. So I said, well, if that is the case, then what will I do? I said, it's okay, thanks. That will not stop us from trying to get the work done. But it slows the work.
Wait, hold on. I can't believe this thing. Politics and...
yeah, Emmanuel. So.
But, I'm trying to read this one, but hey, it's for your own village.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the sense of this thing. It's for your own village. It's just because Mr. Aragon is doing it, you're forbidding him to use the White Mall for fixing streets in your village.
But
cut your nose for spite your face, for God's sake.
And Emmanuel, the sad thing about it's for the village, man. They're not for nothing else except the village, And then after that, well, I did some interviews out there with people that I met, and they said, well, they would want to see the village progress in terms of getting the road done, and they see no reason why the chairman cannot assist us with the White Mall. And then, well, I know the chairman, when he did a video of his own, and he began to talk about that he has no authority in terms of the White Mall. Well, he is the duly elected chairperson, of course. He knows exactly who has the key to that White Mall pit, and he could definitely, if he loves his village, he could get us the White Mall.
Message, he says, Elodia don't win, so stop worrying. But thank you very much.
And apart from that, then he accuses us of dumping garbage. We not dump no garbage. It is the material that we scrape off the road that has some grass, etc. And we dumped it. We were dumping it where we believe would help the community, He said he doesn't want the material there, so I stopped the Public Works from dumping it there, and I said, let us find people who need it for landfill. And, we have a lot of people have called me asking me for that material because it's a good material for landfill. So we have directed the trucks now, the truck to whenever we have that kind of material picked up to be dumped at different places. But I'm not garbage. Okay? He make people feel like that garbage. Garbage is human waste, plastics and none of that. It is material that is picked up from the road.
Chairman from Palmar.
Yeah, from Palmar. Then he talks about the election. We need for call elections for the village council, for the Lads Committee. Well, I agree with him. I would want to see that done. That is not in my hands. I have already written. I have sat. Just yesterday, I had another meeting with the AG's ministry, and I've asked them to please come and deal with that situation for me, so that people could go and have their own election for the Lads Committee. At the end of the day, government has nothing to do with the Lads Committee except to be the trust. And I have asked the AG office to, as soon as possible, please get out there and solve this problem. Let the people decide, because I have no interest there in terms of worrying about land. It is the PUP who always want to control the Lads Committee there for their own personal political reasons. For me, I've always believed that they should put the Palmar people must put the right people there to oversee those lands, because those lands are not they are finite. It's going to finish sooner or later. And they need to be managed properly. That's all I would want to see for that village. But like I said, I have spoken to the AG. Again, we have written to them, and I've asked them. The AG promised me he will be looking into the matter to try to resolve it as soon as possible. He had promised me this before the election. It has not come. But I know it's not in me to come and do it. If I would have gone there and I could say have an election, I would have done it. But it has to be done through the AG's office. So those are things we are working on. But like I said, that won't stop us from getting the work done in Palmar. I think it is important. Palmar is right annexed to the town. A lot of people use those roads, and we need to improve upon them. And that is what we are going to do. Because I've visited the village, and I know the roads that need to be, new roads that need to be made for people who have their homes there already, having difficulty coming out and in because they don't have a proper road. So we are working on these things, Emmanuel, and I feel good about these things in terms of the roads that will be working in Palmar, no? Apart from that, likewise, we'll be doing some work in the east, likewise, right after we finish with Palmar, no? But that will be for this month right here. But apart from that, we had the Mundialito, right? Mm-hmm. In this month that went by, August, and I will tell you, that was a big success. I've always supported sports.
When you say we had the Mundialito, is it the Orange Walk East Division?
Well, we sponsored, we were the platinum sponsor.
You were the platinum sponsor.
We sponsored a total of, I think we gave the first prize $1,000 and second prize $600.
Okay.
That was our donation to the Mundialito. And I've always supported it because I've always believed that it's an important thing for our community, very important for us to have our young people engaged positively. And we were out there at the Mundialito, and we gave out the prizes and stuff. And I think that went well. And, we have the Aragon's Christmas Cup. I think these are pictures from the Mundialito. And we also have the, giving out the prizes there to Banja and others. But definitely we had when we look at the sports, for instance, to me that is always positive, that is always important for young people. And I just want to invite all the teams that are out there to remind them about the Aragon's Christmas Cup that will be starting at the end of this month, September. So I know a lot of teams have come in for their applications.
So you'll be starting that with a marathon like you normally do?
Well, yeah, I think we have a group that oversees the running of the Aragon's Christmas Cup, and this has been going on for quite some years now, And we do a significant cash prize in terms of, I think we spent close to $10,000 in cash prizes. And we all the logistical work, paying and the refs, etc., all of these things, but it has been good, and that really engages our youths directly, especially the age range in terms of our, not dealing with only teens, but dealing with more mature people, young men, and so that is good. So we invite everybody for that, and these are the things we continue to work on because I truly believe that is an important aspect of a healthy community, Apart from that, Emmanuel, we had a new bridge that was built at Newland. And I hope they can...
Just give us an idea before you go ahead.
Well, Newland...
in the world is Newland?
All right, Newland is a community, a Mennonite community that is based off of Santa Marta. If anybody knows, going to Santa Marta village in the east, there's a road that takes you right up straight through to Newland. A year ago...
Going towards the coast?
Yes. On that road basically ends up passing Newland, and it takes you right down to the coast. And from there you could, at the seaside, you could look straight and see San Pedro, minutes away. I believe that this road is important for many reasons because most of the villagers in Santa Marta work in Newland, whether working in farming, harvesting, you name it, they are there working. And when I first went there and got to know about Newland, the road was there, terrible condition. We coordinated last year a meeting with the Mennonites, and we came together. We sat down in Santa Marta and discussed what can we do together. I even took a team to Belnopan to discuss with the ministry, with the forestry, because at the end of the day, there's a freshwater creek reserve that works there, and they have rangers there. So we had to have meetings to see how we can preserve the area, at the same time ensure we improve the road access and these things. So we had good meetings, and at the end of the day, it resulted in a wonderful, wonderful road that was built last year. But while we were building the road and fixing the road, we found this bridge that was been sitting there for years. Wooden bridge, dilapidated, was rotten already. And really when it chucks and pass, that bridge shake. So I am glad we looked at all of that. Yeah. So when we got there now, we discussed it, and I said, you know what, we are going to give us a time to work on this bridge because it is important for everybody. And this is a new bridge now that has been built. We have put the culverts.
Right.
It's a very wide 2-lane bridge. You drive on that road right now. It's wonderful. The road has held up very, very good over the last year. And I will tell you, with this bridge now, it has improved safety, and it has also assisted that the bridge now is of concrete. So, I feel very good about this.
So will Newland be in the Corozal district?
Yeah, basically going up to Newland there, and then from there it cuts. But this is how wide the road is now, the bridge, and that has made it tremendously safer. And also, I think it lends itself to ensuring that our communities like Santa Marta and everybody who either you ride your bike or catch your vehicle and go there, you don't have to worry about crossing this wooden bridge again, because that is no longer there. And this is great work, because I think it goes to improving the lives of our villagers and all those who commute on this road every day. I'm out there with some of our committee members out there, looking at it, and I'll tell you, we're going out there, and everybody's glad to have had this bridge replaced.
Now, one question that I have about this whole thing is, I imagine that there's a lot of agricultural development in the area.
A lot taking place.
And I would imagine that also that it is to the benefit of those people who live in San Pedro, because they can hamburgers cheap, because they can get their vegetables cheaper and faster.
Well, this road has a tremendous potential, because it leads you to Newland, which is a tremendous farming community. And apart from that, the road continues and takes you right to the coast, where there's tremendous potential for the exporting, or not to sending out of fruits, vegetables, etc. to San Pedro. It is a very close connection, because it's a direct line to San Pedro, and I do feel that in the near future that will be developed into a transport hub for people who are from the north to reaching San Pedro.
Just trying to place the whole thing in context. I know that Minister El Castro has also spent a lot of time and efforts in the Bomba Mascal area, trying to develop the agricultural potential of the villages in that area, so that it can begin to work towards getting some of the San Pedro market for vegetables and fruits and meat.
I think there's great potential there, very, very great potential, and that is why I do believe this road is important for a lot of people and for a lot of reasons. And I just feel good that we have again kept our promise, and we have brought some form of development for the people in those areas, especially for Santa Marta. And apart from that, too, I don't have the footage and stuff. I was at a meeting last month in Santa Marta where I was with SIF there, because they're going to get a spanking new preschool, state-of-the-art preschool in Santa Marta, which has been needed.
Really?
This, again, was another promise that we had made. This preschool will be built through SIF, through government. I was there with the SIF personnel, and I just assured the people that it will happen, and this will happen rather quickly. By next year, June, that building will be up already and inaugurated. So I feel proud again for another major accomplishment in that village. And I will tell you, when you look at Santa Marta, what has been done in Santa Marta, I don't think there's ever been a representative that has done so much work within a small period of time that I've been there. And they really needed that help, because that village was really a rural village didn't have water. Not everybody had access to water. They didn't have proper lighting, and we have improved upon both of those tremendously. I think everybody has water now in that village, and everybody nearly has access to light, and we still have 1 or 2 expansions for electricity and light, but that has happened. We have lighted the football field, new community center, new lands that we give out to people. Tremendous work overall. And, I feel proud of that, because, it's about assisting the people in our community who need it the most. But these are the things we do, and these are the things we continue to work on for the betterment of the people in Orange Walk East, and it's not about talking about it. It's about getting out there and getting it done. And I'm proud of that, and I'm grateful for our committees in these villages who have assisted us to get these works going, you know.
Si me permites en español rápidamente.
Sure.
Me dejaste con la boca abierta. Porque Santa Marta va a conseguir una escuela completamente nueva, moderna y nueva.
Preschool, yeah.
Preschool.
Yeah, preschool.
Tan pronto para el próximo año, junio. Es más, un avance más en lo que es el desarrollo escolar o el educacional de la gente. Esto es importante, muy, muy, muy importante, porque si quieres avanzarte, pues tienes que ir a través de las formas que puedes llegar a desarrollarte, y te desarrollas con educación, con esa capacidad de poder entender, estudiar y entender y aplicar, porque es lo que es. Entender, estudiar, entender y aplicar en la vida lo que uno aprende. Yo, ¿por qué estoy haciendo mención de esto? Voy a ir al grano. Yo conozco a la gente de Santa Marta desde el tiempo de tu papá, de él, y hubo un proyecto bastante grande, que entonces yo supuse era bastante grande, un proyecto de exportación de papayas y plátano. Y tuve muchísimo contacto con la gente de Santa Marta. Y les hacía la pregunta, ¿tenemos plátano para exportar? Sí, Mr. Martínez, tenemos. Quiero 10 contenedores por semana. Pues vamos a ver, Mr. Martínez. Pues resulta de que después de 2 contenedores ya no había más plátanos. Lo cual me llevó a llegar a tener un poco de cercanía con la gente de Santa Marta. Y me di cuenta que había mucho malentendimiento. Porque, Mr. Martínez, el gobierno de Esquivel nos está quitando nuestro terreno. ¿Cómo es así? Que nos está quitando nuestro terreno porque nosotros conseguimos nuestro terreno del señor Marín y nos dijeron que estos terrenos son nuestros. ¿Estás pagando tu lease? No, a mí no nos regalaron el terreno. No, déjame ver tu papel. ¿Es un lease? Sí, te dice que tienes que pagar renta. ¿Y por qué te lo están quitando? Pues obviamente porque nos están pagando tu renta. Pues yo no sé de eso. A mí me dijeron de que a mí me lo regalaron. ¿Entendiste? Te estoy dando la base política de por qué Santa Marta sigue siendo PUP hasta el día de hoy. Porque el señor Marín les dio esos terrenos y jamás, cualquier esfuerzo de tratar de colectarles, se levantan y dicen no voy a pagar nada, y los políticos apaciguan y dicen está muy bien, no pagues nada, pero dame tu voto. Y resulta de que así han salido jugando de esto. Ahora te están invirtiendo una gran cantidad de dinero en tus hijos, que tengan una gran capacidad de poder crecerse y desarrollarse. Date cuenta qué partido lo está haciendo, para que así entonces cuando hagan la decisión de votar, que esa decisión sea influenciada por lo que ves, quién está desarrollando y quién está fomentando el desarrollo en tu área, el partido UDP.
Yeah, so, tremendous work out there, and I feel very good about it. Also here in Orange Walk Town, in the Pasadita, at the 6th Street area, we have been expanding water for the residents there. So I had BWS came in. It's something I've written for a long time ago. I sat with the chairman of the water, BWS, and we were able to they put in the main pipes for that street. So everybody who is living or will be going to live at that area will now have access to water, and very important. Some people have called me asking me about 7th Street and these areas, so we are going to work on that. I want to ensure that all that area back there have access to water. We want to also work on getting an expansion of light in terms of more lights. They have posts out there, but they need lights. It's pretty dark in that area. And that is the thing we are working on right now to get those lights out for people. But I want to ensure everybody has access to water. New buildings are going up in those areas, have gone up already. Some going there, and we need to support that. So definitely we have the water expansion that we have done there, and I'm going to see the BWS to see what areas are left, whether 7th Street, etc. We'll get those expansions done.
Minister, we need to take another break. It's exactly 40 minutes after 8, 20 minutes before 9. And I'd just like to quickly tell you that I congratulate you with all the work that you've been doing. I mean, every time you come, you talk to me about some other project. You're not just repeating the same project over. It's a different project that you...
No, every month we work.
Every
week we must do something.
Hey, notice that. Dense cuenta de eso. Hay gente que te hace las 1000 promesas, pero ese señor cumple sus promesas. Vamos a la pausa. Estaremos de vuelta con ustedes luego de estos anuncios.
The San Ignacio-Santa Elena Bypass project is now complete. The transformation began in 2012, and now residents of the Twin Towns and visitors alike are enjoying the end result. Works include the full pavement of Lamalus Boulevard, along with 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage, LED lighting, and a roundabout at the entrance of Santa Elena. The Twin Towns now boast the longest and widest bridge in Belize, immune to flooding from the occasional rise in water levels of the McCall River. A bypass road was also built linking the new bridge to Joseph Andrews Drive, which was rehabilitated, as well as 1 mile of pavement, a median, and 2 miles of sidewalks and drainage. This was all done to the tune of $34.8 million. But that's not all. The project was extended due to savings from the successful execution and implementation of the initial scope of works. Now over 2 miles of additional roadworks will commence, including George Price Avenue, Liberty Avenue, and the George Price Highway between Three Flags and Hawksworth Bridge. The government of Belize, moving Belize forward. Have you ever noticed the development that's taking place in your town or in your city? Maybe it's because you've been too busy enjoying the results. More for Belizeans, more for Belize, the government of Belize, moving Belize forward.
DJ customers, imagine you and 5 of your friends partying at the highest level, platinum style, at the biggest weekend in Belize. We're talking about tickets to the Belize September Festival Weekend Street Fest featuring Nessa Preppy and Mato and Wyrush and Friends on September the 9th, featuring the long-awaited Sizzla Kalonji.
Thank you, Mama, for the 9 months you carried me through. There's so much going on in the world. Simplicity we use to survive.
Vanessa Bling, Jackal. All you gotta do is text party to 3444 and win this mega package, which includes 6 platinum tickets, 1 private booth, 1 bottled drink of your choice, personal waitress, photographer with visits from the artist. Only $1 per text, so the more you text, the more chances to win this mega package. Promo ends on Wednesday, September the 4th, so remember to text party to 3444 and win.
Here all day of my life.
It's back to school time once again, and the only store to visit for all your back to school needs is A&R Store on Baker Street here in Orange Walk Town. Visit them for the absolute largest assortment of school bags in the country with brands like JanSport, Skechers, Everest, Capsule, and character bags like Mickey and Minnie Mouse, Jojo, Siwa, Unicorn, and so much more. Remember, A&R Store is your one-stop source for all your school supplies like exercise books, folders, sheets, dry eraser boards, foam boards, crayon and coloring books, plus so much more. Plus, they have a wide assortment of housewares, including bed sheets, cookware, and garbage containers in all sizes and at the best prices in town. Visit A&R on Baker Street today, now with extended hours to better serve you from 8 a.m. through to 6 p.m., Monday to Saturday. A&R Stores, where prices do make all the difference.
Need Need an escape from your daily schedule? Why not become a tourist in your own country? Discover Western Belize. Transport back in time and be awed by the reminiscences of the Mayan civilization. Be adventurous or spend a day with family and friends enjoying the serenity of the Macau River. Sample a kaya staple or pick up some fresh produce to make your own delicacy. Come visit us in Western Belize. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
World-class spaces for Belizean athletes to thrive and fans to enjoy. Our new basketball and multi-purpose arenas have proven their worth, attracting regional and international sporting events and hosting expos, conferences, and proud graduates. Your government moving Belize forward.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Las 8:48 minutos. We barely have 12 minutes left. 12 minutes left. So I'd like to, at this point, open the waves if you want to call, if you want to ask a question, if you want to congratulate Minister for the work that he's been doing, whatever. Hey, it's here. But in the meantime, we're going to be just quickly talking about some. You've been working on a lot of on projects for the villages.
Yeah.
But
well, the villages.
Town level.
Yeah.
Town level.
Well, of course, you have the tongue falls under the mayor. So he has responsibility for the tongue. But I do think, like in terms of the expansion of water that we did, those things really needed our intervention, expansion and light that we are working on. But I will tell you, for many years, I think the villages were totally abandoned. People living without water, without light, and that's some really tough times, And so we've had to do a lot of work to bring these villages up to par. And I'm glad that we have done that to a large extent. I think most of these villages are up to par right now in terms of that. And if they have not, they are getting there. I'll tell you, we could sit here and talk. If you look at all the work we have done, tremendous work. I think it will take us quite some time to
But just as a point
talk
of note,
about this.
Minister, that the latest, I think, says that 55% of the population of Belize lives in rural areas.
Yeah.
Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Eduardo.
Hello, buenos días.
I want to ask Minister one question.
Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Aragon?
Yes, ma'am.
And I am trying to find out if you can help me. This is Miss Rodon at Pontion Street.
Okay.
I am living between two lots that have grown so high that I can't see over the fence now. And, nobody they address it.
Okay.
And two of them, I am between the two of them. I have scorpions, I have snakes. You name it, I have it in my yard. Because the two empty lots, I am between the two empty lots.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find out if you can help me, or you could maybe tell me where I can go.
Well, first, we need to find out who the owners, because the owners have a responsibility to ensure their lots are clean, And
I think that just quickly, let me shed some light, Ms. Jules. I think that just last week we had people from public health here. And we were talking about exactly that situation.
Yeah.
And I think that the only one that is empowered to do anything with that is the town council.
Oh.
There's the town council. I don't know how good you're good unless you talk to the mayor and plead with them. But I don't think you should plead with him. I think that they should just come up and say, yes, Ms. Rose, may I help you, or well, do something about it. If not, hey, we can constantly berate it on the waves. We will constantly be mentioning it until somebody get tired of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you know?
They get going around, and I have and the people I use it for dump too.
Oh,
I understand.
yeah, that bad,
I
that bad.
understand.
They dump stuff.
Public health. That's public health concern number one.
Yeah.
But also,
do you know the neighbor? Do you know who owns the land, Miss
Well,
Rudon?
I know one is for Malcolm Gabriel,
Okay.
and the other one supposed to belong to Dave Burgos.
Okay. Well,
Malcolm the Nobra son.
Yes, yes.
But the one that grew up with him, but he's not here.
He's not here.
And Dave Burgos, well, he's in there, so get Dave Burgos for cut the land.
Yeah, make a contact.
And I think that the Malcolm
families could look after that.
Malcolm, I think that town council can do something about that. Cut it and add it on to his bill.
Because I need to feel the pinch, they're not there,
Yeah.
so they're not worried about it.
Right.
You know? Mm-hmm.
I'd start by contacting the owners since we know that who them and ask them to come and clean the land, no? If not, then you check with Public Works. Oh.
Mother doesn't live here anymore, not true?
No. She lives in the U.S.
She lives in the U.S.
Well, I think that if you get the public sector to come in terms of
Public health,
they can look after that matter for you and ensure that they contact them, no?
Okay, I'll try and see.
All right.
Like I said, I am feeling the pinch.
Yes,
The
yes.
are okay in their high house.
Yeah.
And I detect the leaking down the side, yeah.
Yep. I can imagine, yes.
Well, we will continue mentioning it here. Whoever that much I can do for you, baby.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay,
You're
sure,
welcome.
ma'am. Thanks. Yeah, those
It's
are
a
problems
hell.
all over, in terms of, and if everybody maintain their land, we don't got no problem, But these are the things that are important, that where we as community can do our part, to get these things going. But Emmanuel, I also wanted to mention that we're in the month of September, and definitely we have the I want to say that we're at this point in time, the roundabout coming into town, right? Where we have the all the villages listed in the Orange Walk district, and also we have the monument with the life-size statue in terms of the King Farmer, right here coming into town at the roundabout in front of Bowen and Bowen. We change the flags. I've been changing the flags ever since. I'm trying to get the good flags in terms of the heavy-duty flags, but very expensive.
I'm going to ask you a question again. Flag protocol dictates that a light must shine on the flag. Is there a light shining on the flag at night?
Well, there are 16 flags that were placed around that monument, and I do
really?
think direct flags and lights. I think you're talking about the little small lights that you connect up. I don't think we have those there. We have a lot of lights wrong,
I understand.
It's well lit. Well, that whole circle is well lit. And right now we have been maintaining that area. We have Public Works and people who have come and assisted us
Actually, I
to
haven't
clean the
passed by
area.
there, Minister. Maybe.
Yeah, so we put new flags up last week Thursday, and it's civic pride, right? And I think it's September. We need to have. I'm trying to get the good flags, but these flags
Have
are
you
very
tried
expensive.
selling the idea to maybe a Rotary Club to take over that?
Well, what we have done, we're in talks right now with Caribbean tires, trying to see if they would want to take over. Because I know hard work to maintain that is quite easy, and the most expensive thing in maintenance there is the flags, because the flags deteriorate with time. If you put the heavy duty flags, they're very expensive and they last longer, they look better, but they cost money. So, but I do think that we're in negotiations right now to see if we could get somebody to take up that responsibility of the roundabout, and I think we will find someone definitely. And when we do, I will bring it here, let them know, so we could give them that recognition
yes,
too.
Definitely,
as I
anytime.
think that would go a long way for our community. A small thing, but important thing.
I think that the Rotary Club in Belize City, one of the Rotary Clubs, because they have two, Sunshine Rotary Club.
Yeah, but we have 3 big businesses right at the roundabout, which is Bowen, West Track, and Caribbean.
Right.
So I am sure among them, maybe we could get somebody to deal with this. And I would want to see the nicer flags up. And we are working on those things. But for now, we change all the flags, and we're getting ready for September. We're already in the month of September. The 10th is fast approaching us next week, and of
Please
course the
don't remind
21st. Right. So we are working on these things. But I know. At the end of the day, the work never ends, and we will continue with the work here in September. Like I said, right at this point in time, what is actually taking place as we speak is the work in Palmar in terms of the rehabilitation, the opening of new roads, the establishment of new roads, the dumping that we are doing. So those things are taking place. What I didn't mention likewise, and I just want to bring it up since we're here, I think a while back we had a lot of dumping in terms of material that was the school had acquired in Palmar. The Palmar Government School acquired a number of trips. I think, if I'm not mistaken, about close to 800 trips of white marl they had gotten to raise the football field, and also I think that they dumped material in their school compound. Mm-hmm. Well, just before school went, to give you the story, from when they first dumped, I went out there and I saw all the dumping taking place, and I spoke to the principal, and I saw all the material, and I said, you know what, they're obvious you will need help. What arrangements the school did with Danny Grijalva or whoever, or ASR, I don't know what was the arrangement, because I wasn't a part of that. They, at the end of the day, acquired about 800 trips where they put on the football field and in the school. So having
trips is a lot.
It's a lot. They're not a little bit. So I went out there, and when I saw what was happening, I approached the principal and I said, you know what, I see what you are doing, and I'm willing to see how we can assist you, because I know she will need help. But one of the concerns I had from the onset was that they were dumping in the material. They had cement slabs, and likewise they were steel that were in these material. Mm-hmm. And I knew that would have been a problem from the day one. But nevertheless, when all the material was dumped, we were able to get Public Works, and we sent Public Works out there, and they began spreading it. But due to the steel, etc., we had a number. I think we lost about 2 tires from the grader, and so Public Works decided that they will discontinue. And so those materials had stayed there a while, and I was able to get the bulldozer a while after that, and we put the bulldozer to try to push all the slabs together, all the steel together, and to extract that. And we have been working on that. So we got the bulldozer in. I think it did a fairly decent job. And just before school, I sent in the backhoe and the grader to level up in the school compound. And the school compound had good material. They didn't have slabs and stuff, which was good. We did that work quite easily. And I think they were prepared for school when school opened within the compound. And we still have more work to do outside. But at the end of the day, it is something that we had challenges due to the steel and due to the cement slab. But nevertheless, we are lending support to the principal and staff to get that work done. But never was it where I was responsible for all of that. I went there, saw the problem, and lent a hand to try to assist. But of course, at the end of the day, a lot of it, they expect that you do everything for them, which in fact we were there just to support on what was happening, because I knew that the school needed some help, and we are doing it. I'm hoping we could get Public Works in. I'm just concerned that all the debris have been removed. That is important, because we wouldn't want the grader to lose some more tires, because these tires are expensive.
Of course.
And so that is how we are progressing with the work out there. But we have removed a lot of the cement slabs and stuff like that, which I think is very important likewise. So, the work always continues. And of course, like I said, the road works are ongoing right now. As soon as that is over, we are coming into town. And I'm going to work on the east side of Orange Walk Town in terms of the roads again, and to try to get some of these. Especially, we're going to fix in terms of the areas that are really dilapidated. We have some, where holes have been created,
I know that
etc.
we could continue talking about other projects, but I'm just going to quickly advance you for next time when you come. 1 year you have a drought. The next year you have excessive rains and you have droughts, floods. and in particular the Orange Walk East Division is very vulnerable to floods in some areas.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I know that this is way ahead of our time, but sometimes we need to be proactive.
Right.
By trying to avoid the problems, because I'll be honest with you, when with such a long drought this year, believe me when I tell you that when the rains start coming down, they will come down in torrents, and then we'll be faced with another problem, flood, and we'll try to have to go in and find ways of how to mitigate the effects of all of the flood, and in particular with the New River flooding in some areas along the East Division.
And then likewise, definitely we are looking at in terms of the roads, because it is important, and we are not there to. We are mindful of the dust, because that is always a problem. So we are looking at the areas that really are terrible. Those we're going to fix those little areas, but not to touch the main roads that are in decent shape. But we're going to widen the roads, etc. This work is going to be done right after we finish with Palmar. I'm coming into the east, like I said. We are focusing in the water expansion and the light expansion for that area. And also, I want to tell you that when we look at the other works that needs to be done, because there's a lot of things that we have to focus on. These are the things that we have a committee that sits, and we look at all of these areas, and then we see where the priorities are in terms of these things. So definitely, it is about us looking ahead of ourselves in trying to see what we can do. Right now, we are working on a number of little other projects that are in the pipeline that we are trying to seek funding and other things. And as soon as we get those things going for the town, I will let you all know on the work that we are doing. Definitely, and I forgot to also mention, we had last month, we had our back to school, what we call our summer program for the kids, and we were able to give out 200 bags to children out there, and I am working. And that was fine in terms that I felt very good. We get the kids engaged for at least 1 week, So there's a lot of things that we do every time, and these things might seem trivial in terms of, I just want to leave 1 week summer camp for the kids, but I think it goes a long way. All our participation in sports,
I think that right now, given the state of things, I think that but the Bible tells you, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. I would like to think otherwise. I like to say, if you've done it, shout it out.
Yeah.
Shout it out loud. Because one of the problems associated with not saying is that at the end of the politics being what it is, you want to get people's favor.
Right.
And if you keep it to yourself, how in the world are you going to get people's favor?
Yeah. So, and we always, I do my best to bring it here. Yes, and I think every month I have committed to come here twice a month to highlight on the work that we're doing, because not a day goes that we don't do something out there for someone, and I believe that is important, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of work to be done, and we start somewhere.
Sugar City Morning Show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can I get on the show?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Adelante.
Good morning, Minister. Good morning, Emmanuel, the host of the show. I was here at Palmar with the equipment of the Ministry of Works doing Mr. Aragon's work at the Palmar, right? Open up streets and whatever. I just heard him saying it, and I have to confirm that Minister of Works is out here. Okay?
All right. Okay,
sure, man.
That's Mr. Pete. Mr. Pete is on the ground, trying to get his works done.
Proud of you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, tell you what. We're just about that time,
Okay.
We're already past our time.
Oh, yes.
Time, really. So, Minister, thank you very much.
Well, Emmanuel,
if you... runs out so easily. But
if you allow me...
I'll give you 30 seconds more.
That's right. Well, I just want to thank everybody, and I ask everybody in terms of people in Orange Walk East where we're working, especially in Palmar, to be mindful of the equipment that is out there right now. And of course, we are here that we will continue to work. Now, we are looking at these areas. There's, like I said, a number of other projects we are working on. Some big projects, and I'm hopeful as soon as we start with these things, we'll bring to highlight it here so that you all can see what we are doing. But the work continues, and I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I also want to take time to invite you right now to tune in on East Radio 104.9, where we have the Department of Environment personnel on the show talking about the situation with the river, etc., which I
grab
think is
that opportunity
important.
and give us
So,
them a call.
but thank you all for your
104.9.
time.
Minister, again, thank you very much.
Sure, Emmanuel.
Pero importantemente al equipo de producción, al Chequi, a Rahim, muchas gracias por su trabajo que hacen. Pero importantemente a ustedes también, muchas gracias a toda nuestra audiencia que nos ve, que participa con llamadas o con mensajes. No tuve tiempo de leer mensajes hoy, fue una plática bastante placentera con el ministro, pero no quiere decir que no nos preocupamos en leerlos. Claro que los leemos, y si es que hay algo sobresaliente, entonces lo hacemos la próxima vez que esté el ministro con nosotros. Pero muchas gracias por su audiencia. Son las 9 de la mañana con 3 minutos, y así que este show repite a las 9 por la noche, pero estaremos con ustedes, primero Dios, mañana a la misma hora. Mañana tendremos, primero Dios, al personal del departamento del hospital que se trata con la extracción de sangre, etcétera, etcétera, del banco de sangre. Así que periódicamente tratamos de invitar a gente que vayan a donar sangre, porque también periódicamente hay escasez de sangre. Si es que eres una de esas personas que voluntariamente da sangre, te invito a que vayas al hospital, que dones sangre, y tratar de influenciar a otras personas que hagan la misma cosa.
And Emmanuel, we need to wish Belizeans here in Orange Walk East, in Orange Walk and across this country,
But of course,
a happy September celebrations. We have the 10th coming up. I want to wish everybody a safe September celebrations. I've always said, if you drink, please don't drive. We have a lot of casualties on our highway, and a lot of it is contribute to alcohol. And so I'm asking everybody, let us have a safe September celebrations, and just want to tell you to enjoy this month of ours. Thanks.
And this is my contribution, and tell the mayor that the East is ready for him come September 21st. Nos vemos, compañeros, se cuidan todos, que tengan un feliz día. Como siempre les digo, si no pueden hacer un bien, no hagan un mal. Nos vemos mañana a la misma hora. Hasta luego.
Sugar City Morning Show.